In this video, we are going to see how you can incorporate multiple backgrounds and also background for a footer. So you need to go to the hands-on 6.5 starter files folder. So I'm going to open the index file from there, and what I want to do now is to add a background image. So that's what I'm going to do. Background image. There is a file called Trillium Gradient .png. In that folder, make sure you have the semicolon as a habit, so if you put a next line it won't create any problem for you. So just to make sure, see, this is such a small, like a 20 pixel thick, 1500 long image. It's a very thin line. We are going to use this as the background image, and see how the background appears. So let's see how it runs. So you can see that gradient, like a dark green, and then it goes down, so it repeated throughout. So even though that was a very thin line, you can see that it repeated throughout this web page, very similar to what we have seen in the earlier video. Now there is a property called background that you can put in the body tag, and you can attach some other background images and place them to a specific point. So here now I want to put this trillium foot image on the bottom right of the body. So I'm going to say background. When you have multiple images, the property is background, not background image. So URL trillium foot, that is the name of the image, .gif. Okay, we don't want it to repeat, so you would say no repeat. Take a note that you don't have the background repeat or anything. You are just saying that no repeat, and bottom right. And in my background, what I can do is I can have multiple things. One, before this comma, I have one, and then I'm saying I'm going to use the URL trillium gradient.png. That means I'm using multiple pictures for my background. One with no repeat on the specific place on the bottom right, another for the regular background. Okay, so save, and you are running. So you can see that you have that gradient, and then you have it here on the bottom right. So that's what I was talking about. You can simply have multiple images in here. Another thing that you can notice is that if you would like, instead of it being here, I can simply put that into the footer. That would be easier to manage. So I'm just going to delete this and just have that gradient image adds the background, and I'm going to put the footer image on the footer. So we have a footer, let's see, and I need to find whether it's an ID. It's an ID that we have a footer where you have the copyright. So I'm going to use that in my CSS and start a new rule. Okay. And remember, when you have ID, it should start with a pound. Footer. Okay. Then I'm going to say that background image is the URL, which is trillium foot.gif. Alright, and I don't want it to repeat, so background repeat, no repeat. Alright, make sure that you have the right spelling and the right syntax. Background in repeat. Okay, so let's see what will happen if I just have this space. So it put somewhere here, but it kind of disappeared. So we need to make sure that you can see that. So what you can do is background position. I'm going to say that it has to be bottom right, so it will go to the right side. One thing that we did, let's see what happens there. It put there, but it's covered by some other, maybe some other thing, so we need to make sure that it has the correct space for this one, because in here what is happening is the footer is in a div tag which is like only the line long, so we need more space for this footer so that the whole picture can be seen. Now the picture is limited by the div elements. Usually when you put something in the div element, it's just another line, so it doesn't have enough space to accommodate that picture. So we need to adjust to that. So what we are going to do is let's look at how the height of that picture. It is like 75. Its width is 115 and the height is 75. So I'm going to put maybe a little bit more than that. So here I'm going to say height of that footer should be 90 pixel. Alright, so you save that, run, launch in. So you can see that now this that particular div section is 90 pixels, so I can see all the parts of that image. That's how you use your CSS rules to incorporate pictures or backgrounds into your web page. You can do that for the whole body, like what we did here, or you can apply it to specific tags or even specific div. So that is how you incorporate background images into your web pages.